Welcome to We Are the People with Tracy Marks and Jorge Estamba, who ask you to know what's happening with your student loan. Tracy and Jorge keep a deep look at student loans in this country and the industries that surround it. Every week, We Are the People will bring you new insight into the corporate welfare industry, such as bailouts, and they connect with student loans. The show will highlight on your constitutional rights and how the current system is built to infringe upon them. Join the conversation by visiting our website chat room at wearethepeople.tv or call the show at 888-565-1470 and let us hear from you. And now, let's tune in to Tracy and Jorge for this week's discussion.
Good evening and welcome back to We Are the People, Students for Liberty. We're live in Boca Raton at the WNN 1470 AM studio. What is that frown on your face? And Jorge Estamba is back. However, he's not here because his car is broken. So
I could be Jorge Estamba.
You could be Freddy Santori is going to be Jorge Estamba today.
I could be his brother.
You're his brother?
I could say I'm his brother.
You're going to be the Spanish brother or the Cuban brother?
I'll be the Cuban. I'll be the New York Rican.
The New York Rican.
New York
Expand the family. Hey.
How is Mr. Jorge? Everybody's good? He's all right?
Everybody's good. He's good. He's back, except for his car. He's not. He's been at the garage all day. He thought he was going to make it, but they just didn't get the part in time. So
this must be the worst week for cars.
Yes,
everybody I know,
yes.
their car broke down this weekend.
Well, I was stranded in Orlando.
I heard.
For 2 days. It was my bill money paying for the hotel room while I begged for credit card help from everybody I knew. It was quite an adventure.
But I heard that the hotel also hooked you up, and everybody was.
I tell you, as bad as the experience. My nephew was here from California with his best friend Mason. My nephew Christopher. So they may be watching the show. So I got to mention their names, Christopher and Mason. They're awesome guys, 20-year-olds, and so we went off to see Harry Potter Land. Oh my God, was that amazing! The new ride. Oh, and butterbeer. We had butterbeer. So these boys saved for like a year to come here and take me to Universal Studio. So I drive. I'm in my little car. I had just gotten a new battery. Thought everything was checked out. Well, I come out at 10:30 after going through 2 parks with my feet hurting and the car wouldn't start. Turned out to be the alternator. First they replaced cables. They thought it was cables. That was an adventure, and then it still wouldn't work. So it was the alternator. It was 3 o'clock in the morning before AAA got us out of there because they couldn't find a truck small enough to get in the garage. I was in the Cat in the Hat section. My favorite.
Oh, is that what it is? You got stuck with the Cat in the Hat section?
But, hey, I like the Cat in the Hat. My
You're the only
keychain has
person I know that can get stuck in the situation where a tow truck can't reach you.
Yeah, well, practice makes perfect.
Well, there you have it. But anyway, you got out of there.
Yes, and I was rescued by this guy named Angel, actually, and they told him there was only one person. There was actually 3 of us, but he managed to make room, and he took us. AAA actually booked a hotel room for us. Now, I was at the entrance of Universal Studios. I was at the Holiday Inn on 5905 Kirkman Road in Orlando. All right, they are literally, you could walk through the entrance, except the drive parking is way far away, but it's right there at the entrance, so, you're looking at very expensive hotels. They got me a discount with the AAA. It was $71.40 they charged me. They didn't even charge me for the third person.
Right.
Okay, so Holiday Inn is America's innkeeper, and they just kept saying, how many hotels did you pass by before you got here? And they were amazing to me. So we got a wonderful price. I mean, those prices were at least a couple $100 there if you were to pay regular. So I went in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's this girl named Angela who had actually lost touch with the tow truck driver.
Shout out to Angela.
Yeah, Angela, she is awesome. So she hooked me up with a breakfast voucher the next day because I told her the whole story, and I was laughing. So she liked the fact that I was happy and
I think you're better off with breakdowns. Your life is a lot better.
Yeah, well, I definitely
Everybody
meet some
comes to help
amazing
you.
people. They did. Everybody did come to. So I had an Angel, drive me over. Then I had Angela. The next morning there was Alicia and Emil and Randall, and they all, checked it out. The hotel was full the next day, so it was like, you can't throw me out. I can't go through this again. Yeah. So I mean, can I lay at the pool? Well, but it was raining, it was bad weather, it was like, oh.
She couldn't see that
So they talked him in. Anyway, there's always a cancellation. So they worked it out. They let me keep the room. The boys slept the entire day practically till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon while I'm on the phone trying to get things straightened out. So all day Saturday, we're working on just getting that fixed. And then I had ordered dinner that night. Well, they stick these flyers under the doors. That's actually illegal. So if you go out to Holiday Inn and they stick a flyer, and do not order from those people. So Roland at Guest Services helped me get all my money back. And we double tagged the pizza guy that, ripped me off. It was like supposed to be $25. Turned out to be $40, which I would have been all right with because I was starving, but everything was wrong. And
so it all worked out at the end.
It did. It was great.
You
I had a
got
good
some money
time.
back.
Yes, so definitely. Go to Holiday Inn when you're going out to Universal. It's 5905 Kirkman Road, Orlando, Florida. Oh, but the best part was, I got a call from the director of operations. I walked downstairs, he asked me to come down, the general manager, Gary, is there, and he says, my staff is at your disposal. I was like, yeah! That was great. The director of operations, David Hall, actually went to Discount Auto Parts and picked up an alternator for me.
Really?
Yes, I got my car fixed at Pep
Did
Boys.
they pay for it too?
No.
That would have been kind of cool.
But I had to, they had somebody else's credit card. It was quite an ordeal. And I got it fixed at Pep Boys because that was just around the corner, but Pep Boys felt sorry for me too, and they told me to go buy the alternator at Discount Auto Parts because it was cheaper.
You got to start dropping names because these are advertisers that we could be talking to right now.
Well, hey, you got to start somewhere,
yeah,
right?
I know that.
Give a little to get a little.
You're giving away all
I
this
know, but it
love.
was such an amazing experience out of a whole hellacious ordeal.
You got lucky. My son Freddie got he got abandoned in the middle of a street. Nobody came over to help him.
See, Freddie, you just got to smile more and wiggle.
That's what it is. He didn't wiggle enough.
He didn't wiggle enough. That's what it is. And Jorge, apparently he didn't either because he's still stuck in that garage.
You know what it is? Men don't wiggle, honey.
Well, maybe they should learn.
Maybe we should start a 1-800 call Tracy. So whenever anybody breaks down, you jiggle,
what I
wiggle,
could sell. I
and
could teach them how to wiggle and jiggle.
That's it.
There we go.
And we are the people.
We were looking for something.
We are
to
the
sell,
people
right?
looking for advertisement.
Well, that's true, and so are the other shows on Amp TV.
And so all the other shows on Amp, but we're really particularly interested in this show because this show goes from the students involved up to the parents that have to pay.
And the grandparents.
And the grandparents that have to pay the parents.
Yes, and you have whole families living together now because nobody can afford to live on their own.
And I tell you got to be gypsy. You got to have 12 jobs.
Well, I am Hungarian gypsy.
Well, there you have it.
So, it works for me.
It explains it.
No moss grows on a rolling stone.
There you go. Rolling Stone. But we are looking for people to put advertisements on all our shows. We have about 21 shows that we air. And yours is a nice 6:30 slot on Monday nights, which is always good.
We're stuck in traffic usually. We have good demographic.
Yeah. And you have a very wide base of age and groups and men and women. And we don't encourage enough call-ins, 888-565-1470, if you want to tell us your story as to what's happening in your student loan life.
Or if you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer.
Or if you need Tracy to hire her, if you break down.
For a jiggle and a wiggle.
You need a jiggle and a wiggle. To get out.
I'm still slap happy.
But don't call for speeding tickets. We don't break the law. Don't call for speeding tickets.
I think my charcoal gray car blends in with the asphalt so well that they just never see me.
Don't ever
I'm
say
invisible.
that. You just jinx yourself.
No, I didn't.
On the way home
I've
tonight.
said this for years. No.
So tell me, what does We Are the People have in store for us tonight?
Well, tonight I wanted to reiterate a few things. I've been talking for a long time about how Sally Mae and the student loan industry pay our politicians, and therefore our legislation never gets passed. I just took a look. I was able to get on a computer for a little while. Our representative here, Frederica Wilson, she has the best bill out there as far as what is good for us as being a student, what is good for the parents and grandparents that are trying to pay off these loans. You'd be surprised how many kids have been disabled. I mean, there's one gal, brain tumor, she died. Her parents are still paying those loans. They wouldn't forgive it. I mean, it's not right. So what I would like you to really do, if you would, go to opencongress.org. There is a bill there that's by Frederica Wilson. You can either type in her name or type in HR 3892. Now, this is the Student Loan Borrowers Bill of Acts Right of 2013. Yeah. So it was January of 2014 before it even made it anywhere, okay? So on the 15th, it was referred to the House Judiciary Committee. Then it was also referred that same day to the House Oversight and to the Government Reform Committee. Now, March 20th, they just posted this not that long ago. It was after March 20th. It was referred to the Subcommittee on Regulator Reform, Commercial, and Antitrust Law. So we'll see what happens there, but it hasn't seen Congress.
So what does that bill, what would that bill do for?
That bill basically, what it does is it helps to, it restores basic consumer protections, okay? A lot of people get freaked out over that because they say, oh, I've paid my loans, why, but...
I got the shaft, how do I,
yeah.
why should you be...
Right.
Because
And I understand that argument, definitely, but things are so much different than they used to be. It used to be that it was locked at 3%, it was capped.
what is it now, 16?
It depends. I have friends that are paying up to 28%.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So then this particular bill that you want people to sign in petition for, you want it so that it goes back to the 3% and locks it in place?
Well, this isn't going to do that, unfortunately, but it is the best that's out there, and it is a start. It's the only one to restore consumer protections.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So like students can get together and put this thing into play.
Yeah, and we need people to get on there because I was looking at the website and there's 8 co-sponsors with Frederica Wilson. They're all Democrat. I'd love to see some independents and Republicans get behind that. But what we really need is for we, the people, to get behind it. There's not a whole lot of comments. They have a little template, and all you have to do is go in. It's even pre-worded for you. You can customize it or add your own on the end, which is what I did. Of course, mine doesn't. It's electronics I'm dealing with. Things don't go through.
I know you have a hard time with the keyboards.
Yes, and phones too. I burn out 3 SIM cards on my last
stay away
phone.
from my computers and my cameras.
I know. Well, see if you make me mad, I'm going to touch
Yeah,
them.
I've seen that. But listen, maybe we should have Frederica call in.
I would
she can
really like to
explain
get
her
Frederica
stance
to come in. I'm working on that. I was going to get Rick on that.
We don't have enough people signing in this deal. Is really what's going on. You got a ton of FAU has thousands of students.
I know. I should just get petitions and go and probably walk around college campuses.
Every kid in campus should be signing this.
Well,
thing.
we do have a student activist that's there. I'm going to talk to her about it. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But definitely, if you go to opencongress.org and you type that in, again, that's HR 3892. Can we put that up? Opencongress.org. HR 3892. You can look at it and it will tell you exactly what it's all about. It has a whole summary there, and then it goes into a little bit of little more lengthy information, and it also, you can track exactly what it does.
Gotcha.
So
we should have T-shirts made, says opencongress.org on the back with the bill on the front.
Oh.
So that people can call, say, what's that all about? I mean, I wear my shirt to the bank and everybody's like, what's that all about? And the object of the game is go on the website, opencongress.org, and get this thing into play. If you got a kid going to school right now, going to college, and they're taking out loans, and you're not going to opencongress.org, you're doing yourself an injustice.
Yeah. Well, any bill you can look up there. You can see what's happening with any bill, not just student loans. You can type in student loans, and it'll give you, I think there's 25 of them. There's 25 different things that are out there.
Right.
Some are nonpartisan, mostly others for Democrats. Most of them are just really diversionary tactics, from what I can tell. They don't accomplish much. Yes. Yeah. And then, also, if you go on moveon.org, you can type in student loans, and you'll see all the different petitions that are there. And what I hope you'll do is go in, you can type in student loans, you can look for Rick Stroll's name, RICKSTRUL, and go over that bill that we put in there last week.
Right.
But there's also, if you type in student loans, there's a lot there. I would just sign them all.
Well, at least read them.
At least read them. But
mean, you know-
but the thing is, it's so quick now. I mean,
But
you
the problem
really,
is that nobody hears about these things.
Right.
And then they say, well, what can I do? I got to pay. Or what can I do? I don't have anybody speaking up for me, and I'm going to get stuck with 28% interest.
yeah. And some people have 28, 22, 21. Somebody I just talked to was 18. Mine went back up to 9 1/4. It was actually 14 1/2, and I called and screamed like a maniac at those people. I'm like, what is this? You know, they're small print or whatever. I missed it. But, you know, you really have to stick up for yourself. Sally Mae has actually escalated my calls. Now that Sally Mae is a bank, you know, and they're looking at my profile on LinkedIn. I know that. They used to do it, and before you were allowed to be anonymous, but every time I have a show and I mention Sally Mae,
Well, the bottom line
start
is
getting
that
more phone
they're
calls.
going to be more sensitive now because they know that you have people watching, and you know you can watch this show tonight on wearethepeople.tv, and I know that we do the social media stuff with that. We send it out to everybody, and if this thing is something that needs to be seen, that you're going to become a threat to them because you're actually pointing out their flaws, and it's a flaw.
Well, a lot of people are pointing out their flaws, and a lot of people are banding together. We just have to do it one person at a time at this rate. You know, you have to change your mind. You have to want to get involved, and now is the time. You know, you can take a break after 2016, but we've got November elections coming up, and really the whole big money thing in government, it's a disaster. I mean, how am I ever going to get, you know, they won't even look at this bill, okay? Because Klein and Fox, the two people that are in charge of getting that kind of stuff pushed through, Sally Mae's paying them and has been.
That's crazy.
Bonner too.
You know,
Boehner, whatever.
And it's really strange.
And he's
because
going to sue the president.
If I would tell everybody, I'm going to give them a phone number, 866-224-5422. 866-224-5422. If you call that number, I'm going to save you money. Okay? Now, that's an 866 number, so you ain't even got to pay for the dime to call. But I'm going to direct them to the bill. I'm going to tell them what they have to fill out. And if this thing gets passed and you are paying 12% interest and it goes down to 6, 5, 4, aren't you saving money?
Absolutely.
So the bottom line here is that use that number if you want more information. I'll send them over to Tracy. You'll walk them through, 866-224-5422. If you are a college student and you're hearing this program and you don't call or you don't go on that website, you're doing yourself an injustice. You're going to be paying numbers that you're not going to be able to reach. And the job market, I tell you, right now, is tough.
Yes, it is. And this bill does give you the option to refinance, which is what, what is her name?
What is
that everybody. Anyway.
It'll come to you.
It will, eventually, when I get home,
But just remember,
probably.
it's a half-hour show.
Elizabeth
Tracy.
Warren, yes. She had a refinance issue. So this is also included in that. But, you know, we didn't borrow this much money, okay? People who haven't borrowed money,
You
we
get a
have a
phone
phone call. Let's see who it is. I've
Hello,
never done
caller,
this
you're
before.
on the air.
Yes. Hi, my name is Beverly, and I had a son, and
Turn it
he just graduated high school, and we're looking at sending him off to college, but I wanted to get some student loan advice before we go ahead and do that, because we don't want to get in debt. I was looking into the compound interest. I wanted to see if you can maybe talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, Beverly, thank you so much for calling in. Compound interest is the problem, actually. If we had a simple interest system, you know, people would not be drowning in debt and losing their houses and their cars and everything else. Compound interest, basically what happens, say you have a $40,000 loan. For whatever reason, you have to defer it. Now, these numbers aren't real, but it's just a good way to show an example. So you have to defer for whatever reason. Now, let's say over time you've accumulated $10,000 worth of interest on that $40,000. So what happens at the end of that time is that $10,000 is now added to your $40,000. So you are now paying interest on $50,000 instead of $40,000. You follow me so far?
Yeah.
So what has happened to me personally, I had a $40,000 loan. I've paid off $35,000 of that loan. Yet I owe them $48,000, and it's growing exponentially since they upped my interest rate again. So whatever you do, do not go near those private loans. At least the government ones you can work with, and the interest rates are so much lower. And I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show, but some of those people they're in the high 20s for their interest rate. I can't even imagine what their student loans are right now.
And Beverly, is your son or daughter, are they going into college coming up?
Yeah, we were going to have, going to college. We can't really afford anything like out of state, so we're thinking, maybe a community college.
Absolutely. That's the best thing to do, is get your community college, get all those basic credits out of the way. That's the least amount possible, and then you can transfer into whatever it is whatever field it is they like.
Right.
Or that you choose to go to. I would research also what are the big jobs right now.
The website.
Which one?
The .org.
Open Congress?
Open Congress.
Yeah, Beverly, if you would do us a favor, too, I'd like you to take a look at opencongress.org and look up H.R. 3892. This will affect your son and you eventually, and what that is it's to help put the basic consumer protections back and to be more flexible with payments, also to be able to refinance, and also to cancel certain parts of your loan after you've been in, say, public service, teaching, medical, schools that are in bad areas, that kind of thing. And then there's other reasons. So, if you take a look at that, you'd be doing yourself and is it your son you said?
Yeah.
Yes, you'd definitely be doing yourself a service there.
Okay. And what is the website again?
It is opencongress.org. That's opencongress.org. Oh, there it is on the screen. Thank you.
That's great.
Okay.
And that's HR 3892.
And if you want to stay in touch with Tracy in the future, why don't you give her your email?
Yes, you can reach me at thetracymarks@yahoo.com. That's THE. There you go. That's up on the screen too. Gosh, you're fast.
Tracy Marks, Marks with an S at the end, MARKS @yahoo.com.
Correct.
And then and I congratulate you for being the first to call in and pushing. And we need to push. This is what's happening right now. Everybody do not believe that there's anything they can do about these numbers, which are just ridiculous to go to school nowadays. And we got to get back on track.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely needs an education. Well, I thank you so much for your time. It's been very helpful, and I will definitely check out the website and certainly keep in touch, Tracy.
All right. Thank you, Beverly. Appreciate you calling in.
Excellent. Excellent. There you go. And that's what we got to do. You got to start an army with one soldier.
That's right.
And
the Army's growing every day.
And the Army's growing every day. But it's important that people go to these different websites and get it together. Give out your email again, Tracy.
thetracymarks@yahoo.com.
You can email her. You can call 866-224-5422. That's a toll-free number. And I'll make sure that We Are the People get whatever questions come across, and we will get you whatever information, the latest stuff that's out there right now on loans, where to get help, and who to scream at to get things back on track.
Absolutely.
And if not me, we get Jorge Estomba.
We're going to get him back
trying
here.
To get his car fixed. Jorge, we love you. I hope everything's okay, man.
And Rick's out of the hospital, by the way. He got out last Monday night. So he's working on different petitions for us. We're going to put a whole series together to try to move that. So please definitely go online and look for his petition as well. And with that, we're going to take a short break.
Ending the show.
Oh, is it over?
That's it. See how fast it is? We're having fun. And you can see tonight's show.
I did have way more fun tonight.
On We Are the People.tv. We Are the People.tv. Come on down, take a look at that. There's a comment box and everything else you can get in there. Get proactive. To stop the bleed, we got to start with somebody. So let's get involved. And Beverly, thank you for calling tonight.
Thank you. And we also have a Facebook page. We Are the People, Students for Liberty. Thank you.
That's a Facebook page?
That's our Facebook page.
Wow.
Yes, I've had it a little bit longer.
Too?
I do, but it's my personal.
No,
you're welcome.
Yes, doesn't work in that personal.
Hey, I got to get a computer. How many people run a business with no computer and a phone that works only part-time?
You are an amazing person.
Yeah,
you're the only person I know that went to Orlando and got
free meals and
everything else. You're better off than if I went there paying.
I did. The staff at that Holiday Inn, really, truly awesome. Thank you, David Hall and Gary. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you for having me on, and
Thank
we'll see
you.
you next week.
All right.
All righty.
You have been listening to We Are the People with social advocates Tracy Marks and Jorge Estamba, who every week bring to the light the needs and changes in our current system. Tune in every Monday night at 7 p.m. on wearethepeople.tv and participate in the conversation in the chat room or call 888-565-1470. Tune in next Monday for more information and facts. And Tracy and Jorge remind you to stay aware of your surroundings and challenges at all times. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.